Yamoussoukro is the largest church in the world. It has an area of 30,000.
They take mega church to the next level.
Yes.
Okay, you mega churches.
Yeah.
We found the biggest church in the world.
Right. How many services do y'all have in a day?
Bruh.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video.
Who we got today, C?
Today we are back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 100K. And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Top 10 things you didn't know about Ivory Coast. Hello explorers, welcome back to another fascinating video and thanks for watching. As you already know, explorers, it's always a pleasure presenting to you some interesting but lesser known facts about the beautiful countries on the African continent. In this video, we take you on a beautiful journey to West Africa as we bring you to the 10 things you didn't know about Ivory Coast. The Republic of Côte d'Ivoire is a country located on the south coast of West Africa. It borders Guinea and Liberia to the west, Burkina Faso and Mali to the north, Ghana to the east, and Gulf of Guinea to the south. The area became a protectorate of France in 1843 and was consolidated as a French colony in 1893 amid the European scramble for Africa. It achieved independence in 1960. Ivory Coast
do you think from what I'm seeing, it looked flat-landed. But at the same time, I know there's like the mountains and the hills, but from these videos, it looks maybe
in the rest of the other places we've seen.
Yeah. It has a surface area of 322,463 kilometers square and a population of about 24 million people. The capital city of the country is Yamoussoukro, and Abidjan is the economic hub of the country. When it comes to West Africa, Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire probably isn't the first country you think of. Most people are much more familiar with Nigeria, Ghana, and Senegal, but despite being lesser known, Ivory Coast is well worth knowing about. It has a long and storied history, like many of the other countries in the region, and unique cultural customs. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on post notification so you do not miss any of our videos. Come along with us as we present to you 10 things you didn't know about Côte d'Ivoire. Number 1. It is the world's largest cocoa producer.
Really?
The Ivory Coast is the world leader in the production and
export of
facts. The country produces about 1/3 of the world's entire supply of cocoa. Most of the beans are grown by shareholding farmers on small plots throughout the country. In 2013, it shifted 1.448 million metric tons of cocoa beans, nearly double its nearest rival, Ghana. Large chocolate producers such as Cadbury, Hershey's, and Nestle buy Ivorian cocoa features and options through Euronext, whereby world prices are set. Number 2. It has the largest church in the world.
Really?
According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the Basilica of Our Lady of Peace in Yamoussoukro is the largest church in the world. It has an area of 30,000.
They take mega church to the next level. Okay, you mega churches. We found the biggest church in the world.
Right. How many services do y'all have in a day?
Bruh. Wow.
That's huge.
That's big. That's big.
1,000 square meters and passed St. Peter's Basilica when it was built. The cost to build it certainly wasn't cheap, and the total came in at an astounding amount of $300 million. Finished in 1990, its design is said to have been inspired by its Vatican City sibling, with a hefty dose of Renaissance and Baroque style. It can hold about 18,000 worshippers, though it's very rarely full. Number 3. It is one of the largest producers of cashew nuts in the world. From tiny harvest 2 decades ago, the West African country now holds the cashew crown, supplanting India as the biggest producer of the nut. Helped by the price guarantees for farmers, its harvest doubled from 380,000 tons in 2013 to 711,000 tons in 2017, amounting to 22% of global output. This year's production of the nut, known locally as grey gold, is expected to attain 750,000 tons. Curvy, rich in taste and filled with protein, the cashew is a familiar ingredient in salads, stir-fries and other meals, but it also features in a widening range of other food products, including cashew butter and cheese, and its oil has found uses in medicine, industrial resins and cosmetics. Currently, the sector includes 250,000 producers grouped in a score of cooperatives and employs some 1.5 million people directly or indirectly. Number 4. Life expectancy is low in Ivory Coast.
Oh, really?
While Africa is the only continent that contains nations where the average life expectancy is below 60, and there are 21 of them. The fifth lowest is in Ivory Coast at 53.3 years, and the lowest is the nearby Sierra Leone.
53. I thought she said 60. That's why I was like, that's kind of low.
That
53.
That is low. That is low.
So the grandmothers and grandpas is rare for them to grow old.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
At 50.1 years. Number 5. It has the second largest port in Africa. Most of the country's trade goes through the port of Abidjan, which generates more than 80% of the customs revenue. Built in 1950, the port is suffering from congestion. Major extension work was launched 2 years ago to alleviate this. Among the busiest in the sub-Saharan Africa, the port serves the Ivory Coast and the rest of the region. It is a gateway for landlocked nations like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and the traffic is growing. Every year, more than 20 million tons of goods transit through the port. The goal is to be able to host larger, new generation vessels regardless of their size. Once the work is completed, it's hoped the autonomous port of Abidjan will confirm its position as the economic lung of the Ivory Coast and as a leading hub in West Africa. Number 6. The citizens of Ivory Coast are extremely proud of their football team.
I bet.
Although Ivory Coast has competed well in several sports, the country is proudest of its national football team. Until 2005, their greatest accomplishment was winning the 1992 African Cup of Nations against Ghana on penalties at the Stade Leopold Senghor in Dakar, Senegal. The team has been in the World Cup the last 3 times and won 2015 African Cup of Nations over Ghana. Ivory Coast.
So I would like to know this question. So when we were looking at like football teams in like other places of the world, they had like clubs for the town, states, and I think national clubs.
Okay.
She just said the national football team. I know she may be talking about this particular game, or I'm not sure. So how do y'all, like, is it just national for country level? Because, you know, of course we have a different type of football. Don't get on our little people, okay?
Yeah, we ain't gonna go.
Not little people. We love our NFL. But we have, like, it's all across the country. It's not no one sport, especially because we're the only ones that play it. But how does that work? Because she said national, so is it only one big club or yeah? How does that work?
Produced several notable players who have played in Europe, including Didier Drogba, Yaya Touré, Emmanuel Eboué, Wilfried Bony, Seydou Doumbia, Gervinho, Eric Bailly, Serge Aurier, Nicolas Pepe, Maxwell Cornet, Wilfried Zaha, Yakou Made, Salomon Kalou, and Kolo Touré. The team is generally considered to be one of the best African teams of the last decade. Number 7. There are many languages spoken throughout the country. Although the official language of Ivory Coast is French, it isn't exactly what you hear in the streets. Many local languages are used, including Agnin, Kru, Bete, Dida, Dan, Gur, and many others. In total, there are around 70 languages spoken in the country. There are also 3 million or so speakers of immigrant languages, mostly from neighboring countries and above all from Burkina Faso. Ethnic tensions in the north between immigrant and native Ivorians, as well as between the Mande Senufo north and the Kouroukoua south, were a large factor in the Ivorian civil wars. Education for the deaf in Ivory Coast uses American Sign Language introduced by the deaf American missionary Andrew Foster. Number 8. Its capital isn't its largest city. Like the US, the capital of Ivory Coast isn't its largest city. While Abidjan might do all the business and be a shining cultural hub of West Africa, the capital is located in smaller Yamoussoukro. There are only 281,000 people in the city, making it the 5th largest city in Ivory Coast. Abidjan is the economic capital of Ivory Coast and one of the most populous French-speaking cities in Africa. According to the 2014 census, Abidjan's population was 4.7 million, which is 20% of the overall population of the country. And this also makes it the 6th most populous city proper in Africa, after Lagos, Cairo, Kinshasa, Dar es Salaam, and Johannesburg. A cultural crossroads of West Africa, Abidjan is characterized by a high level of industrialization and urbanization. Number 9. Its tourism was booming at one point. Popular with holidaymakers for its golden beaches, fading French colonial heritage and traditional Senofo cultural experiences, Ivory Coast has seen its annual visitor number rise steadily in recent years from 250,000 in 2010 up to 1.44 million in 2015. It was not deemed a welcoming state in the 80s, then again between 2002 and 2011, when the country suffered 2 civil wars, but the period of stability helped broaden its appeal around the world. A terrorist attack last year threatened to derail its growth, however, though the Foreign Office currently only advises against travel to slither of land to the west of the nation bordering Liberia. Number 10. It is home to the lush Mount Nimba. Mount Nimba rises above the surrounding savanna, where Ivory Coast meets Guinea and Liberia. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the mountain is covered by dense forest, harboring a rich variety of flora and fauna, including chimpanzees. The mountain is rich in iron ore and cobalt. The mix of iron-rich quartzite sheets, schists, and granite gneiss have characterized the geological pedogenesis. Mount Nimba's Strict Nature Reserve is a site with outstanding universal value and was therefore nominated to the World Heritage List in 1981. It has been listed as a World Heritage in Danger since 1992. This site was added to Guinea's tentative list for consideration for UNESCO World Heritage Site status on 29 March 2001 in the cultural category. There you have it, explorers.
Okay, y'all, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Very interesting facts about it. Very interesting. You guys been wanting us to do the Ivory Coast for a while now. We would love to learn more about the cultures, the traditions, the people.
Definitely gonna give me some cashews now.
Yes. One of my favorite things was the mountains at the end. That was really beautiful.
Crazy. Yeah, that was nice.
We saw a glimpse of the people and the traditions. That was good. Interesting. The official language is French, because you don't see a lot of that. Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our join feature to become a VIP member of the channel. Sending your reaction requests to our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.